If you had to wear my shoes, you'd probably take them off too.
Hey, Apollo here. You know my name. A lot of people said they liked my last Q&A video, so I had this brilliant idea. What if I make more? Yes. So this is going to be the first in a new series I'm going to be having called Q&A Time with Apollo. For this first one, my mother is in a transparent, a group for parents of trans kids on Facebook. And I told her about my idea, and she made a post in there, and a couple people asked some questions, and rather than, like I originally planned, making a video with everyone's questions, like from my parents, from these strangers, from my teachers, from my brother, I thought I should break it up so that the video is not like an hour long. This is going to be answering the questions of 3 parents from this transparent group. Since I don't know you people who are asking me these questions, I guess I should probably introduce myself. Hello, my name is Apollo. My pronouns are they, them. I have been on T for 3 months. It's been really exciting, 3 months, let me tell you. I identify as transmasculine, but agender, which means I think gender is a whole bunch of baloney, and I don't believe in it, so I don't have one. Simple as that. And I'm super excited to answer your questions. I think these are great. So, in the group, my mom posted, "Hey families, Apollo is going to be doing a Q&A to help support family-related questions. As a parent, what were your first questions and or concerns?" Also, a little disclaimer, I am not an expert by any means. I'm just going to answer these questions based off my understanding and my experience, because I'm not a doctor or a psychiatrist, although that would be pretty cool. Still not one, so I just want to make sure that's out there. I understand that I am not the keeper of all the knowledge. I am but one person with one set of experiences, but I think knowing someone who's gone through it can help gain a little bit of an understanding. Let's go. Question number 1. Safety is my main concern with starting T. Side effects, mental stability, and health. I don't know how to answer this. Being concerned is valid. However, the notion that going on T messes up your brain or makes you aggressive and stuff is just transphobia. It's something society uses to put us down, basically. I think when you're different, people look for anything to try to shit on you, which then becomes like the societal misconception that people believe. I even believed it. Like, that was one of my concerns starting. I went to my therapist and I was like, so I don't want to be angry all the time. How are we gonna do that? And he was like, that's not true, man. That's not true. Like, obviously your hormones are changing, so you're gonna be a little out of whack for a minute, but it doesn't inherently make you a more aggressive person. I just wanted to make that clear. I'm like not calling you out, saying you're transphobic. I'm just saying this is a misconception that society has created through means of transphobia in order to make us seem like bad guys. They're like, oh, trans guy, you're on T, you must be a freaking monster. You're injecting all this mad into you. And honestly, it's also a product of toxic masculinity, because I can tell you, I've been on T for 3 months. Although I do get a little riled up sometimes, this is the happiest I've ever been, and this is the most mentally stable I've ever been, probably. As far as health concerns go, you know, when you're on T, you go to the doctor regularly to get your blood checked. They don't give you a dose that's going to mess up your blood thickness. It has a fancy name that starts with an H. They test for that every month to make sure that your dose isn't too high. Yes, these concerns are valid. And even though these concerns make sense and it's logical for you to have them, I think it's more important for you to figure it out, you know, work around it, work with it, rather than having your child not start T because of it. Because that's just going to lead to even worse mental stability, which leads to bad health, which has a whole other group of side effects. Depression isn't fun, especially when it comes to gender dysphoria. Like, that's not fun stuff. So, do what it takes to make sure that they can start T, because that's going to be more beneficial than not letting them out of fear. Yeah, that's what I think. Question number 2. My M to F, male to female for those who don't know, 18-year-old has stopped speaking to me and I miss her so much. I'm very supportive and willing to do anything for her, but she won't let me in her life. Why? With 5 question marks. I feel that's important. Yes, this, I bet, is something that a lot of parents go through with their transitioning kids. Although I don't know your daughter, so I can't tell you exactly why. But my guess is going through these transitions is difficult. And one, you have to find acceptance within yourself before you can seek out trying to find acceptance from others. And I know for me, when I first started, I didn't tell anyone. I haven't really told everyone still. I just make these videos kind of like, if they see it, they see it. If they don't, they don't. I don't really care. But yeah, it's a hard thing to go through. And I didn't tell my parents at first because it's something that you want to have for yourself. Like, this is, especially as an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, spending your whole life trapped in something, especially a body that didn't feel like your own, is a lot to cope with. And the fact that you're finally able to live as your true authentic self for the first time probably ever is a lot to cope with. So, like I said, I don't know you, I don't know your kid, but people cope with things differently, and some people need space when they're dealing with these things, and I think that's valid. I didn't tell my mom at first, and even then, I surely didn't talk to her about all the things with it, because it's my thing. Or maybe, I feel like some people think their parents will understand. I surely didn't think my parents understand. Still don't know if they understand fully, but if you say you're supportive, that's great, but don't take it personally that your daughter's distancing herself and giving herself space, because maybe that's what she needs to cope right now and get through this hard time transitioning phase, because it's wild. It's a wild ride, and you can be supportive, and I truly believe that, but you're never going to fully understand what it's like to transition. So keep doing what you're doing, keep being supportive, keep sending that love, but understand that she probably just needs some space, and that's totally okay. It doesn't mean you're locked out forever. People just express things differently, and that's my hot take on that. Man, this next question, I don't know, this one hit me. My F to M, female to male, for those of you who don't know. 12-year-old wants to transition at school but is worried about what others will say. Using boys' locker room and bathrooms. Going to sleepaway camp this summer. I worry about safety. Oh, I'm going to do this in 2 parts. 1, for the 12-year-old who is worried about what others are going to say, I have a little message for you. Hello, 12-year-old. My name's Apollo. I wish I could meet you and be your mentor, because this breaks my heart. Okay, can't use curse words because you're 12. Don't listen to anyone who tries to put you down for who you are. I don't know where you live or whatever, but coming out is scary. And there's always going to be people who push back on that. There's always going to be people who try to drag you down, but you have to be strong and you have to be yourself despite that. You cannot let people determine who you are or who you're going to be. And you shouldn't have to be afraid as a 12-year-old to be yourself. You just need to be yourself and be strong, because that's what's going to get you through it. Oh, this makes me so mad. Getting picked on and having people say rude things about you is going to hurt. But as somebody, especially a trans masculine F to M person, I can tell you that living your whole life and waiting until you're 19, despite knowing the whole time that this is something you want it to be, is gonna hurt a lot more. Moral of the story, there's a community to back you up, and it's going to be hard. I'm not going to tell you it'll be easy, and I'm not going to tell you that people won't try to pull you down, because that's just the world we live in, especially in America, especially today. But if we push through it, and if we tell the world we're gonna exist despite all of that, and we're gonna stay strong, and we're gonna keep pushing, and we're not gonna give up, we're not gonna back down, I think the world will continue to change, because we're not going anywhere, and we're great, we're beautiful. Look at us. I bet you're an awesome kid. And the fact that you know yourself so well already at 12 is freaking impressive. I'm so proud of you. Okay, to the parents. Pretty much the same thing. You worry about safety, and that's valid and real, and you should be. But I think, as I said to your kiddo, you have to be resilient and strong as a parent. You need to show that you're gonna have your kids back no matter what. And it's gonna be a lot, and it's gonna be scary, and it's gonna break your heart, because you're gonna see people trying to take your kid down, but you need to show your kid and the world that you're not gonna let that happen. You need to stand behind him and say, no, I'm not gonna let you treat my kid this way. I'm not gonna stand by and watch this happen, and I most certainly am not gonna make my kid be someone they're not because of you. And I love my parents, but I wish that's something I had when I was 12. I came to terms with my gender queerness when I was 13. And I received pushback at school, and I also received pushback at home, and that was bad. It messed me up for a while. It's better now, and I appreciate that. But moral of the story, you need to have your kids back, and you need to be vocal, and if you see someone treating your kid badly, you need to take your kid's side every time. When it comes to gender, obviously. When it comes to their gender identity and policies that are discriminatory towards your kid, you need to have their back. Go to those school board meetings. Go talk to parents of the kids who are bullying. Honestly, I think that's what it takes, is having a conversation. And not forcing your kid to be someone else, because that's not a solution. It's just going to make it worse. So, be strong. Be brave, be resilient, but don't give in, no matter how hard and how painful it gets. To sum it up, to the trans parents out there, I guess the main takeaway is that you need to have your kids back, no matter what. You know, don't give in to society, don't give in to your friends, and don't give in to ignorant assholes who are going to try to take your kid down or try to take you down for your choices. Because in the end, your kid's identity and well-being and happiness is more important than what these assholes are going to try to say or do. And your kid's going to be trans no matter what. They're going to keep being trans whether you let them express it or not. So might as well just let them be themselves and try to change the assholes rather than trying to change your kid. And keep asking questions. Keep being in this group. It's so amazing that this exists and that you guys are willing to ask these questions and, you know, show your vulnerability and admit that you don't understand and know things. That's awesome. I respect that. Not a lot of people have the bravery to say, I don't get this, especially when it comes to your own child, which you should. A lot of people feel like they should understand their child fully, and that's not always the case, and that's totally okay. And you're here asking questions and getting more knowledge and making yourself a better parent, and I love that. That's some good shit. So thank you. You can follow my trans page on Instagram. It's kid friendly. You can tell your children to follow my trans page on Instagram, and you or them can message me anytime. I'll be making more videos like this if you want to keep up to date with that. You got this. Thank you.